Printing money? Absolute monarchy? That's right, it's Mexico time. Welcome back to the second half of Manifest Mexico, where after logging another 50 hours in the game, I've come to realize I might have made a few mistakes. But nothing that can't be very easily fixed. First of all, it was a pretty dumb idea to go ahead and pick up ironclads without also getting gantry cranes. These two are really important to get together. If you don't, and you start making steamships, then you're not going to be able to use your previous ports. So let's start off by fixing that. I've also been spreading out a lot of industries, which is not a good idea. Another problem we have to deal with is how we're going to tackle the United States. As far as I can tell, they're just going to keep conceding a province every like 8 or so years, and that's going to take quite a long time. Considering, you know, we have all of this to be taking. So in the end, we're probably going to end up puppeting them, which should be pretty easy considering all we have to do is capture Washington. On the downside, I don't have any ships. I literally have no navy. So we're gonna have to fix that first. And now that we have a dedicated police force, we're gonna go ahead and swap up our economic law. Well, theoretically, we should, because we have a whole lot more capitalists in the country than aristocrats now. And with gantry cranes complete, we can change all of these over to industrial ports, and our shipyards can start making steamships. Canada wants to make a defensive pact. That's kind of awkward. You see, the thing is, we kind of need to puppet them too. Well, there isn't a reason to say yes, but there also isn't a reason to say no. At least for now. We get a free obligation? Okay then, why not? For some reason I also had a bunch of decrees on, so gotta get rid of all those now that they're not very useful. And instead we can start putting on a couple of consumption taxes. Services are a little too easy to generate, so taxing them is probably fine. And on top of that we'll also go with porcelain and maybe some luxury things. Oh boy, would you look at that number do go up. And it's taken me until this long to realize that I really have not been maximizing my economy. What I should be doing is increasing the taxes a little bit more, and we can use that money on doing a bit more construction. Now would you take a look at that industry? Oh dear lord. I probably should not have signed that defensive pact. Well, as far as I'm concerned, this is none of my business. I'm sure Britain will deal with this for me, thank you very much. In the meantime, I'll just be over here bashing my head against a wall trying to get interventionism to finally pass. And just like that, we've surpassed both the British Raj and France in terms of GDP. Now everyone, a quick round of applause for breaking 100 million GDP, as well as fixing our balance reserves that we have positive while having low taxes. Although that's not going to last very long considering I need a bit more construction. Well, it looks like they went ahead and won the war, but wait a second, is that the real flag? You're telling me the real flag was in the game the entire time, but they chose not to use it? Just want to let you know that my soul burns every time I see the blue stripes on the sides of the Canadian flag in game. I've been noticing a large amount of migration leaving the country, which is a little bit weird because I kind of considered my provinces to be relatively decent until I realized that they're all going to South Cameroon. Apparently this place is the new land of opportunity because of all the rubber rushes. Now the funniest part is that I'm actually not extracting any rubber at all, but the people seem pretty convinced that it's the place to go to. Here's another quick easy tip for other countries stealing all of the stuff out of your market. Simply apply extra tariffs and protect your domestic supply to make a little bit more money and hopefully make these a little bit less profitable. Also, if you need something pretty badly, you need that price to be low, you can protect domestic supply and take off all of your import tariffs as well. Like this steel temporarily. Oh, finally. Count 'em, that was 9 years for us to get that implemented. But now that it is, building should be a little bit easier. What's going on in Brazil? Oh, looks like Brazil's having a slight problem. Maybe a bit more than slight. Just finished researching pump jacks, and you know what that means. Oh baby. It's oil time. Once we get some of that black gold flowing, we're going to start improving the Navy, because I didn't realize that these are on different sides, different HQs, so we can't really use it for the same landing. It seems now that the unions and the intelligentsia are seeing things the right way a little more, so finally we can enact the secret police. Well, I did mention something about an enlightened monarchy last time, so fine, we won't do it. Okay, army power projection has basically tripled, and the navy has become much larger, although it might just be me, but I think navies take a really long time to make. Like every week, we're not looking at a very large number of people here. Anyway, they should be ready pretty soon. Looks like Spain has decided to get in my way here. What's your problem? Defensive pact with the Americans. Okay, I don't think that should be too much of a problem. I don't think Spain can really protect them, therefore I don't actually care. Oh, and on top of this, just for fun, I'm gonna go ahead and change the Americans to a monarchy, just because I can. There's pretty much no reason to do this, but it is a good meme. Alright, let's get started. So we're gonna take our ships over here. We're gonna do a naval invasion straight into Washington. These guys can just do their little advancements. Spain's not really gonna do much, actually. I mean, it's not like they really have a front to fight on, so... Anyway, this should be really easy. And we decided not to do the landing. I don't know why. Alright, let's do it again. That's a little bit odd. I'm sorry, what? Oh, it's because we actually did the invasion. Okay, let's do a second one. They're not even mobilizing. Kind of feel bad, but not that bad. Now, keeping in line with our values as an enlightened monarchy, we're going to allow the people to assemble a little bit, you know, nothing too absurd like protected speech. Now, that's getting a little out of hand, but at least the right of assembly so that we can get them some guaranteed liberties, and then we'll have fewer radicals. Ah, beautiful. The United States has now finally capitulated, and they're a republic. That's not supposed to happen. That's not at all supposed to happen. Never mind, maybe it did happen. Honestly, really confused. Okay, so what did we do exactly? Let's see, which laws do we actually have in common? So we supposedly changed their government to be similar to ours. And yet, okay, so for power structure, this is different, this is different, this is the same, this is different, this is different, that's different, this is the same, this is the same, this is different, that's the same, this is the same. Actually, no, that's different. Same, different, same, different, and the same. Okay, kind of weird. I don't know why it says we did the thing when we didn't do the thing. Half of the country is the exact same as it was before. In fact, for all I know, nothing has changed. Maybe puppeting and then changing their government type is not possible. Kind of sucks, but I'd believe it. Now, on the bright side, what this should allow us to do is to drain the population of the United States and send it to our states. Ooh, yeah, that's not looking so good. And now that America is a puppet, I wonder what we can do with the Confederates. Can we attack you now? Of course not. Anyway, these guys over here, not a lot of people in here, plus it's kind of messing up my borders. So we're gonna go ahead and conquer this state. Yeah, thank you very much. I wish we could organize states with our subjects, because honestly, this doesn't need to exist. Now, it turns out I might have misinterpreted the achievement a little bit. I thought that it required the entire strategic region for both the Great Plains and the Pacific Coast, but what it actually refers to is directly owning the American states within those regions. By American, I also technically mean Canadian in this sense because, you know, they kind of own these three. But fortunately, that means we don't have to take Saskatchewan, Alberta, Yukon, British Columbia, and Alaska. Now, that being said, this video might end up being a little bit shorter than I thought. Speaking of the video, if you've been enjoying it so far, don't forget to leave a like. And if you're interested in seeing more Victoria 3 or Europa Universalis 4, then that's what I do. So subscribing would be a great idea. Alright, congratulations. The people can go out, have fun, and only occasionally get arrested by the state. Now, on the other half of that coin, we're going to provide a couple of liberties. Not too many, though. You know, you wouldn't want the people to start thinking or anything. Doesn't look like that's worked out very well for Britain. Okay, is it just me, or does the population tend to consume a lot of glass? Like, it's kind of weird. What are they doing? Eating glass? Why? Alright, most of the glass has been completed, so let's throw on the automatic bottle blowers. And, whoops, now over 100,000 people are unemployed. We can fix that. Probably. Ooh, guaranteed liberties. Maybe now I can finally get rid of some radicals. Well, look at us now. Number 2 worldwide GDP, we have only Qing left to beat. And if we wanted to, we could annex the US. We could also decide to change their regime. Again, I don't think that's going to work, but we could give it a shot. It's not really that bad, and I don't plan to annex the United States for a while because right now we would get an additional 50% radicals from all the states we'll be taking, so that's not a good idea. yeah, we will need these states, but we can wait on them. Let's see, are you gonna back down? Literally no troops at all, no one helping them. They have to back down. Please? Thank you. And what changed? Nothing. Fantastic. Well, add that one onto the bug list. Now let's see how everyone else is doing. Brazil, still in that revolt, but hey, a little bit of progress has been made. That's better than nothing. Oh no. Not a very good sign. I don't know about you, but I would personally not trust the Confederates to uphold very good principles in Africa. Finally, we've converted all the construction sectors to use steel. No more boring iron buildings. And theoretically, as glass becomes a little bit more expensive, then, hopefully they'll just import less. We can't do much about it for now. Level 60, oh my god, yeah. They are just stealing my glass. Well, when we enact protectionism, we can put even harsher tariffs on that. So either they'll have to pay up, or at least I'm gonna have some glass for building. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Another mystery was, why are my ships so expensive? They're stealing my ships from me. New developments in the Confederates. We still can't attack them or anything, but, they're having fun. I am a little bit interested to see if I can help them out. We'll see if they let me. We could support them. Alright, yeah, sure, fine. Okay, let's see what we can do. Looks like we're holding fairly decently. Now, of course, the last thing I wanted to do here was get these guys to do a quick naval invasion of New York, since that is their capital. And finally, protectionism. Oh, thank you. Seems like things are going okay so far. I don't know why we're asking if we should do this. That's a terrible idea. Why? We were winning the war. Why would you? Okay. Alright, that's cool. Nah, that's cool. That's fine. I am embargoing these guys, though. Screw them. I hope your GDP suffers. But does this mean that I can attack them now? Of course not. Seems I've discovered an entirely new form of market issue. I don't really know how to fix this one. This is probably what happens when you make a few too many workplaces at once. In any case, we've been having a great time over here. Well, kind of. We've had a big population problem for about half the video so far. Even though the population has been going up dramatically, we still can't quite seem to find enough people to fill all of the workplaces. Kind of am curious where everyone's even going. Colorado, apparently. If there's one critique I'd like to make, it's that infamy decays a little bit too slowly. Kind of funny considering last time I said infamy was super easy to decay, but now that I've done anything actually large, yeah, this is kind of terrible. I understand now why the achievement is considered a hard one. It's not a test of skill, it's a test of your patience, to see if you'll sit around long enough to try and actually grab all this territory. And boy, it is good at testing. Also, another small nitpick, but the fact that there's no vineyards as agriculture, as arable land, a little bit frustrating, because you can make a crazy, insane amount of wheat and still not have enough wine. I'm producing as much wine as I possibly can, and it's just not enough. And the thing is, I'm not even importing grain. This is just how the ratio is, I guess. Hey, there we are. Number 1 GDP, finally, which is actually kind of small. Most of my recent games, France is 400 million, so I guess I got pretty lucky this time. So, what do you do once you're at the top? Number 1 GDP, number 1 GDP per capita, number 1 in standard of living. I guess we just keep on going. Actually, you know what you do? You ignore the infamy. That's what you do. Oh, you know what I should do? Hold on. Let's make a skyscraper. Why not? Oh no, it's the socialists. Alright, what are we gonna do? Wage subsidies, regulatory bodies, or we could decide to embrace it and do the full communism thing. Well, in this case, our enlightened monarchy is not that enlightened, so we're just gonna go with labor rights. Now, finally, I can only think of one thing to solve the problem with our population. We should go to multiculturalism. We just don't have enough people. We need to be able to make more stuff. Alright, we've surveyed the skyscraper site right in the middle of Mexico. Let's get down to building it. So skyscrapers are fantastic because we're basically going to get 25% more bureaucracy, which is going to save us a lot of paper. And now we have multiculturalism. Perfect. So we should see a lot of people start to come in soon. The enlightened monarchy requires that we have at least some decent literacy. So I'm going to keep on building more universities. I haven't even figured out exactly how many universities you really should be building, but that's okay. Having a couple extras couldn't possibly hurt. To this this day, we've never figured out why glass is still the #1 expense of the pups. They're spending more on glass than on food. Finally, electric engines and electric railways. Next, plastics is one of my favorites to go with. Now, we've finally gotten the Americans down to neutral without having to spend any extra infamy. So at last it's time to do the annexation. I am fully expecting them to just roll over and die. I mean, it'd be kind of weird if they didn't, but it could happen. We'll have to see. And the skyscraper's complete. Fantastic. Look at that thing. That's nice. Alright, that's what I thought, America. Thank you very much. Got a little worried for a second. It took them a while to click the button, but here we are. Now we have a lot more people to take care of, and we're gonna have to take care of them the only way we know how, and that's building more gold mines. Also, the Confederate States have just become America. That's really cursed. We can invade them now. That's good. Well, in any case, we have one task left to complete. I've been gearing up for this war the entire time, so really shouldn't be that difficult, but we'll have to see. Right now we're amicable, so I'm going to have to expel diplomats and then wait a little while. And we're too friendly with Britain, of course. Of course we are. Oh my god. Migration attraction of Mexico City is 57. I don't think I've ever seen it that high. Okay, finally, we can declare our war. We could have Canada transferred to us, but that's gonna take a little while longer, and I really can't be bothered. Also, is that Vancouver Island attached to British Columbia? Right, gonna need some bleach for my eyes after seeing that. Anyway, it's time for us to finish this run. And I'm gonna put all my cards on the table. We're taking Idaho, we're gonna take Oregon, and we're going to take Washington. On top of that, I mean, if I could transfer Canada, I mean, it would be kinda cool, right? I could probably do that. Maybe not, that's a lot of infamy. You know what? This game's practically done, let's do it. Now, it seems the British are going to send everything down to this part over here. Theoretically, the front is so small, I don't know how they're actually going to supply all these people, but in short, I'm gonna make sure that they don't. Now, people may or may not have stopped trading with me already. Let's see. Oh no, everything seems fine. Oh, and the Americans are, right. I remember. Once you get over 100 infamy, people try to kill you. That's what happens. Forgot about that minor detail. Well, I guess that means it's time to activate conscription. Well, this should be something interesting. A big war to end things off. Now, the only big problem about fighting anyone in North America is that the front moves so slowly. So that's half of the war goals. The other one would be to creep into Washington, and then the last one would be to get over here to Fort Douglas. And in the meantime, we just have to hold off the Americans. And the British, which might be a little easier said than done. Oh boy, here we go. Oh god, 94, we're not gonna win that. Which is okay, because they're basically just giving us free land. For now, things are going somewhat okay. For the Americans to cut us down, I'm pretty sure they have to take the capital. They can't just have any little piece of land. If we keep on holding like this, there should be no problems. Although holding is, maybe a bit of an exaggeration. We're gonna move these guys away from here. Instead, we're gonna put you over here. And we have breached into Washington, which gives us another war goal. The last one would be taking the capital. I don't think the AI is necessarily smart enough to do that, though. Right, we're also going to need opium imports. Oh boy, okay. No opium for the army, that's a slight problem. Okay, we made some decent progress into America. Well, at least enough progress for now, for them to get -2 every single week. Oh my god, there's so many battles. Well, we're doing the best we can. The British have gotten their hands on Guatemala, which is a large problem because that's their only war goal. It's also dumb how that works, but let's just forget about that. Besides, we've mainly fixed the problem. Oh, come on guys, a little bit more to the right. Maybe this time? A peace deal. Okay, it's from America. What do you want? You want to give me war reps? I mean, I'm not gonna say no. That sounds good to me. And the rest should be very easy. Alright, come on boys, a little bit to the left this time. Too far right. It's like babysitting children. This has real potential. We might do it this time. Oh, there it is. Nice. And I don't know what's happening to the front, but it looks good to me. Okay, that is the war goal capitulated on Britain. What just happened? That's not supposed to happen. Okay, time to go back by one save. Okay, it seems Britain kind of jumped the gun a little bit earlier than I imagined. So in this case, we're just going to go ahead and send this proposal here, which they would say no to because Canada would say no. Theoretically, all of these war goals are against Canada, right? So I should be able to get everything here. If this is a good and informative peace deal steel system, then we should see that all of these targets here, which are Canada, will have them give me these 3 provinces, or these 3 states, and then have Britain transfer the rest of the subject to me. And if it is a bad peace deal system, then it's going to transfer the puppet over to me and not give me the provinces. What do you know? As expected, it is unfortunately a bad peace deal system. So bad, in fact, that it locks you out of the achievement until you annex the subject. Well, seeing as I am for some reason allowed to do that, I'm gonna say screw it. I will. Thank you. I think I will do that. Okay, Canada said yes, we may annex them. Perfect. That leaves us looking like this, with 154 infamy, and no achievement. Fantastic. Well, thank you for the experience, Paradox. I'll probably have to use some sort of achievement unlocker to do that then. But as far as I'm concerned, this is a completed achievement. So, thank you all very much for coming by, and let me know which country you'd like to see me play in Victoria 3 next. The game has a lot of achievements, but if they're anything like this, then they're not actually that difficult. It might just take a little bit of time. But for now, this is Quarbit signing off, and as always, have a fantastic day. Big thanks to the patrons this month. All of these people get early access to videos, so if you want early access to videos, all you have to do is check down in the description and subscribe to the Patreon for at least $1, and if you're looking for something else to watch, I'd recommend these videos up on screen.